Hello, bonjour, namaste. Welcome to the Canada and India show, where we meet the people that make up the vibrant Canada-India relationship. Every week, we interview leaders in their fields to dive into who they are and what drives them. From the arts, to trade, to human rights, we will discover together how rich and diverse this relationship really is.
Hi, I'm Annie Dubé, Canada's Consul General in Mumbai, India. And you are listening to the Canada in India show. Thank you for joining us. Today we have with us Apurva Roy Choudhury, CEO, and Romasha Roy Choudhury, Vice President, Product Design at Cynapse. As Apurva puts it, what Mumbai is for India, Canada has sort of become for the world. Right now, people from all over the world are just converging over there. And because of that, we get to meet so many diverse people. We get diverse ideas. So please join us today to discover this success story of two Indian entrepreneurs who decided to settle in Canada through the Startup Visa program and invested in Prince Edward Island. Please accept my apologies ahead of time because we've had a bit of technology challenges in recording the sound of one of the guests. So my apologies, but I hope you'll be able to still enjoy the interview. Hi, this is Annie Dubé. Welcome to the Canada in India show. Today we have Romasha Roy Choudhury and Apurva Roy Choudhury, two entrepreneurs who decided to settle in Canada through the Startup Visa program. And we have them with us here to talk about Cynapse, their venture. Well, first, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, Anna.
I'm very excited to hear.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Romasha. You decided to leave Bombay or Mumbai to discover Anne of Green Gables. You ended up in Prince Edward Island, PEI. Anyone want to tell me how this happened?
Well, as a company, we've been exploring various regions to set up our presence in a way that we're closer to our customers. And traditionally, as a business, Cynapse has had 80 to 90% of its customer base in the Northern American and European markets. So we've been exploring various places, and at the same time, Innovation PEI reached out to us with an invitation to a conference where they would be presenting
the advantages
of being in PEI. Mm-hmm. And that first conference was quite an eye-opener for us because not only did we realize that a localized small population can be really driven to reach out into inviting global businesses, but we also realize that we have incredible access to resources, to opportunities, and to benefits that the government is offering in PEI. That got us excited, and we decided to dive in further. Since then, we've spent about 13 months in Canada as a whole, and quite a few weeks in PEI as well. And we're pretty excited about the Canadian story for Cynapse.
This is amazing. So you've survived a winter or two?
Oh, yes. We did. So our second trip, which we started in Toronto, we realized that the only con that people ever spoke of with regards to Canada was the weather. And being in Bombay, spending all our lives in Bombay, 24 degrees Celsius is winter for us. So we were like, let's figure out what this is. And honestly, we found it really exhilarating, exciting. One of the probably more memorable moments is stepping out for a walk in a snowstorm when it was minus 30 with all the parkas and everything. It's pretty much an experience.
So you learned the hard way that when it starts snowing, you have to start shoveling your entrance right away because it may never stop snowing for the rest of the winter. Yeah. Excellent. Prince Edward Island, I know there's a lot of advantages in going there, but you still decided to headquarter your company there. What was the factor that made the difference for you?
Well, at Prince Edward Islands, the proximity of working with the educational institutions and governments in a way where we could just get them on a table and discuss ideas and have things happen at a much more rapid scale just because of the size is something that really appealed to us.
And the size, we can say, this is the smallest province in Canada. It's an island. How many people on the island?
I think 140,000.
140,000 people in Prince Edward Island.
Right.
So you can reach the Premier's office really quick.
Exactly, precisely.
That's the advantage about PEI, and it's like a family. The entire province works like a family. If anybody has a problem, everybody's on the table to help you solve it. And
a sense of a community.
a sense
Yes,
of that.
yes. And as a company at Cynapse, we visualize building a 100-year company. So for that, we look for good platforms. Similarly, the way we've chosen Apple as a platform, because we ideologically align with Apple, we realized Canada as a platform is very strongly aligned with us. And those values are sort of magnified when you go to PEI. The reason is that, we're looking for probably the smallest pond so that we can be a big fish in a small pond instead of being a small fish in a very big pond. And PEI sort of gives us all of that. And we did not really come across with a lot of cons. I mean, there would be limitations because of the lack of population, all of that. But the government incentivizing us to recruit people from all over Canada, invite them into PEI and, have them settle there. We are a creative business. The environment, the nature, just the greenery over there, the beaches, all of that sort of very conducive to the kind of work we do. Though, of course, we do not expect PEI to be the business development headquarters or sales headquarters. We don't intend to do all of that over there, but we intend to set up our engineering teams, our design teams, and we need to recruit our support staff. One of the key strengths of PEI is its time zone. Doing a business like this from India, time zone's been our biggest challenge. For the last 10 years, we've started office somewhere late in the afternoon and ended office much later after midnight. So, the PEI's time zone is perfect to address London and Europe, which is a significantly important market. It's also nearly equidistant with California. So, we can actually have access to waking hours of the entire market space that we have. So it's right sort of in the center in that case.
This is a great aspect for your decision making. How many employees do you have right now in Canada?
Right now, we don't have any. Our aim is to recruit at least 25 more by the end of next year.
Excellent.
We're a small company and we take things slowly. We do scale our team to maybe 100 at times, which is usually external freelancers and vertical experts that we recruit on and off. But as far as the full-time staff is concerned, we're 25 at this point, and we intend to be 50 at the end of next year. And all of them we intend to recruit in Canada at this point in time.
And you're expanding somewhere around in Canada as well in terms of making sure you continue serving your market.
Yes. So we have set up in Toronto as well. We have also set up our office in the historic Toronto Star building on One Yonge Street. And that's where we're sort of setting up the sales and business development and partnership management. Currently, our strongest and most important relationship as a company is with Apple. We're one of the 50 MPP partners that Apple has got in their mobility partner program, one of the 150 entities, and probably the only one from India. So that partnership sort of allowing us a lot of exposure to their customers, and essentially, since our customer base is any business that depends on Apple hardware, that relationship is giving us a significant amount of leverage to reach the right target audience. Since Apple's headquartered in Toronto, it makes sense for our business development to have proximity in Toronto, and that's what we're setting up there as well.
From a personal perspective, what part of Canada you would like to discover next in terms of travel?
Oh, I think, we've traveled to PEI and we've seen Toronto, and we really love these two places. Vancouver is something that everybody tells us is beautiful. So yes, that's something that we want to do. But yeah, the Northern Lights is what really excites us. And
Right.
I guess that's
So
going to be
Manitoba, maybe when we muster up the courage to actually go to somewhere colder than PEI. But yeah, people in Toronto have been telling us that we're glad you haven't been to Vancouver yet because we don't think you'll come back. So that's kind of worrying us, but not really. So we're really excited about, and we know how beautiful Vancouver and Alberta and those places are. Mm-hmm. Though, of course, the last one, honestly, we kind of focused more on the Cynapse and business development side of things and less on the personal exploration aspects, because that will happen, I'm sure, eventually.
You have to, because it's part of Canada's charm.
Yeah.
Is there anything from India that you miss most of the time when you're in Canada? Some people, it's going to be food. Some people, it's going to be some type of clothing or the weather, the heat from here. Anything you're missing that we should think of having India shipping to Canada somehow?
It'll be hard.
For me, I think it's just family that I really miss because of the distance and the time. Again, the time difference makes it difficult to be in touch with them. And we spent our entire life in Bombay. And so that's the only thing I think I miss.
I thought you would say maybe you're missing people generally, because the intensity and the concentration of people here in Mumbai is not what we see in Canada generally.
Well, possibly that's what we're running away from. But yes, I would say it's the family, distance from the family, and the fact that, it's 18 hours away, even if you really want to, come over. And we have a 2-year-old niece who we miss dearly. So besides that, not really, because as far as food is concerned, one of the things that really attracted us about Canada is we think that there's a very strong similarity to Bombay. I mean, of course, the contrasts are visible in terms of population, but Bombay has traditionally been a place where everyone from India who wants to do something, they come in here and they try to do something. Everyone's working towards something. Mm-hmm. That's the same environment we find in Canada, in Toronto, and in PEI, Charlottetown. So that's what really makes us really comfortable going to Toronto. We are used to this multicultural environment, and we think what Bombay is for India, Canada has sort of become for the world, at least now. Maybe United States was 50 years back, but right now, people from all over the world are just converging over there. And because of that, we get to meet so many diverse people. We get diverse ideas and the diverse food. So, the food's been actually overwhelmingly great for us because we've been just trying all kinds of cuisines from all over the world.
PI, gosh. This is great. What is next for Cynapse then? In terms of future plans, in 2-5 years, what would you like this company to be? And where would you like to be in the world?
That's a good question. While, we wouldn't want to talk about what kind of products you would want to build, because that's something you keep closely to our hearts.
More in terms of aspirations.
Right? So we see ourselves as a products company, and a product building company in the technology space has to layer over various different technologies and platforms out there in this world. So we've currently identified Apple as a platform, and we think for the next 10 years, we imagine that they will be leading the market in the kind of a platform that we desire to build upon. Mm-hmm. So we will be focusing deeper in our Apple relationships. And in the long run, our aspiration is to be a bigger technology company than Apple even. So it's not that we intend to be small, we intend to be slow. We just intend to do the right thing. We're not interested in rapid, accelerated, inorganic growth. And that's why we've sort of stayed away from the venture capital world, which sort of compels a company into building valuations and not real value. So we're about building value, which takes time. And we think, the promise of Canada is it's ready to give us that time and that opportunity to build that value over time. So, of course, we do a lot of business with the US. More than 50% of our money comes from there. We intend to establish some kind of presence in California, again, for the proximity of Apple, but we do not really see ourselves move from Canada to the US at any time because, again, we find ourselves ideologically much more aligned to Canada than the US. And the market in the US is a lot more about the sizzle, about the valuation, about rolling a company out in 18 months and selling it off and starting another one. That's not kind of work that we like to do. So we see a very strong permanent future in Canada that we intend to have it. Of course, as a startup, you have to be dynamic. Plans change often. Right. As a small business, I would not call myself a startup, but we unfortunately have to address ourselves that way because we're with the startup visa program maybe. And that's the buzzword today.
The ecosystem has changed a lot in recent years, and you've been to Canada only for the last year plus. So what you say about the people from around the world coming and this diversity of views to build stronger products, better products, more aligned with what clients need resonates strongly, because it's the new Canada, that the part that most people don't realize until they show up after years and are amazed at the diversity, the multiculturalism that Canada is, even in places like Prince Edward Island. So I'm very encouraged to see that India is making its place as well in Canada, and we very much welcome that.
What you say about the new Canada, I mean, we've really felt that. It's not that any individual has sort of, coached us or communicated that to us. We could actually identify that by talking to people at grassroots levels or at higher levels. And we're very optimistic about the region, and especially for businesses like a technology products company that's looking at a global customer base, but still needs a strong platform, a strong law of the land, protection of your intellectual property. Mm-hmm. We would strongly recommend those kind of companies to explore Canada. One of the things that it puts these people away is probably the tax regime. The taxes are pretty high, which attracts most startups to Singapore and Dubai at this point in time. Mm-hmm. But what we believe is, the benefits of the ecosystem and the platform and the unified platform that Canada is providing sort of far outweigh the costs of, higher taxes. So we've been advising our friends, our buddy entrepreneurs, to take Canada seriously, and that's a message that I would give to everybody else listening in. So as far as the technology ecosystem, one of the things that really interests us with Canada is that Canada is looking at encouraging businesses of the future of 10 years or 20 years ahead. Essentially, the push for artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. Everything we've really needed in terms of, assistance, which bank to go to or where do I register something, or the lawyers that we need, we've had assistance from them in a matter of hours and not days. So wow. The speed at which work is happening over there is something that's really interesting us. Again, it may be just our experience and the people that we've met and been lucky, but we've truly not really found exceptions to that. So Toronto Global has been great with us. TBDC, Toronto Business Development Center, which is essentially the first incubator of Canada, so they've sort of supported us along with PEI. If we need anything, we essentially get an answer from the first person we ask. So it's been really encouraging thing. I mean, we sort of feel overwhelmed, and we feel a significant amount of gratitude for all of this assistance that's giving us the confidence for a small company to move to Canada.
Wow, that's interesting.
Simply put, if you just look at the benefits that, for example, IRAP is offering us to do research in PEI, the government's open to investing up to 80% of the salary. So that kind of offsets costs for us. In terms of the most inexpensive person we could hire would still be more expensive than that. Mm-hmm. And we're able to hire quality people. Mm-hmm. Also, one of the key things that I probably forgot to touch on that interests us about PEI is the association with UPEI. We met with the Dean of Computer Sciences over there. We also explored Holland College. We actually took a deep dive on the computer courses that they're teaching, and we think they're good. Though, we felt it could be better. Again, as I said, we focus on the Apple ecosystem, and a lot of the training is in the Android side. So, what we realized is the university is really, really interested in us helping them build a course in areas that we need to train people, and then handhold those people into becoming real employees, where the professor is actually handholding them in a project. We couldn't have imagined that kind of an involvement that a university would do with a business. Wow. And that's the area which we see the government sort of assisting in picking up the tab, saying, we'll assign professors who will, monitor these projects to project management for these people, train them in the soft skills required for, the workplace. And in a year, you essentially get a polished team member. Mm-hmm. that's something that process is what we fell in love with. And that's what we intend to use to grow our team in BEI.
And so you have basically employees that are fully trained and adapted to take Cynapse to the next level.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. I think I'll put you in the loop on our YouTube channel or on Twitter so that this is really a great message. Thank you so much. And I suspect you're becoming future Canadians in the near term. So we're very excited to have you joining the Canadian family.
Thank you so much.
And all the best in terms of the success of the company and your life in Canada. Thank you.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having us.
Thank you for joining us today on this informative journey of trade success from Mumbai to Prince Edward Island. I look forward to welcoming you next week for an episode with Manu Sandhu, an Indo-Canadian professional actress, model, dancer, and executive producer at the Vancouver International South Asian Film Festival.
We are thrilled that you shared this time with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on our social media channels. On Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, we are at Canada in India. You can listen to all our episodes wherever you get your podcasts, so please do subscribe. Thank you. Merci. Dhanyavad.